following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
This week on the Defy Life Podcast, the guys revealed the official Defy Life Top 10 MCs list. We discussed the average price of a date by state. We talk NFL team traditions, and as always, we answer listener questions and wrap things up with some trivia. All that and more. Let's get to it. Yeah, that's what it is. I guess we gotta do it then. You alright? Chill. Pool. Out. Money. West Coast. Let's get it. Strap in, let's take a ride. Oh yeah, it's about that time, right? Been waiting all week to get to this. It's finally time to defy life. Let's chop it up, keep it real, no other way. That's what we do. We might disagree, but it's all love. Guarantee we gon' speak the truth. Yeah, this hit different. My guys with me now. Who's with us? Stick around for a few minutes. It's contagious. You'll get it. You downloaded the realest. Don't feel us, but get out. You not rocking with Defy Life, then what's your life about? This ain't the Defy Life. Welcome back to the Defy Life Podcast, powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. Thank you for listening. You can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms, and pretty soon you'll be able to find us at defylifepods.com as well. As always, we encourage you to like, subscribe, and give us a 5-star rating whenever you listen. You can also find us on all social media platforms at Go Defy Life. This episode is sponsored by Bud Bottles, home of the Bud Bottle and the Bud Freshener. Please visit budbottles.com for your odor eliminating needs. This is episode 123, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, J.R. Glymph, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Alvin Glymph, Gerald Hedrick, West Coast Jay, and joining us again, regular Scott from Take a Knee versus Marvel. Take a Knee for Marvel versus DC. Hell am I talking about? Al, what's good, baby?
Man, it's all good. Just ready to get it in. Have one of them good conversations.
Yeah.
Great to be here. Had a really good Labor Day weekend. And, just excited for the show tonight.
Damn right. Good stuff. Money, what's good?
Yo. You guys already know it's 2-4 Tuesdays. Yeah, I'm sitting here rocking 3 now. 1, 2, 3 now. Defy Life bracelets. Now I've switched it up. Now I have one on one arm where I wear my watch, and then I have 2 on the other arm. So I'm just revving up on my, repping the brand. And you guys already know, man. It's the real himself. The real is back. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. You scared me for a minute. I thought you was going one on one arm, one on the other, and I was afraid to know where the third one was. So I'm glad you got 2 on one arm.
Got one around my neck.
Yeah, I didn't want to start guessing. Right. I'll take the neck. That's all right. Oh, man. All is well, man. West Coast Jay, what's good with you, man?
Man, I'm over here chilling, trying to stay cool like a fan in the breeze, Brett.
Yeah, already. All right. And regular Scott, what is good with you, fam?
Man, I'm doing good. It's always a pleasure to be here on the flagship. It's just a different feel here with you guys. I feel like I'm doing something important right now. So it's a pleasure, and I appreciate you letting me join you guys for this. I've been excited. I'm really excited about this conversation.
Yeah,
it's about
absolutely.
to occur.
Damn right. Well, word on the street, because there's an urban legend flying around that you tanked on trivia last time you were here. Now,
so
is...
I'm glad you brought that up. And here's the laughter and stuff. Okay, so look, there have been rumors of this supposed lost tape of me getting zeroed on the trivia. I don't know what that is. I don't know if this is payback for the battlegrounds or what conspiracy is going on over here, but it's a lost tape. So it didn't happen. There's a tree making noise when it falls in the forest and nobody hears it. You know what I mean? So
right.
I'm back to prove a point.
Ah, okay.
Hey, regular. I was there. I know what happened.
So the rumor about you getting bodied is not true.
Yeah, I don't know who started the rumor. Maybe that's why
I did.
Pooh's not on the show. Oh,
I did.
there we go.
I started it,
man.
co-signed it, and was the anonymous source. That was me.
All 3 in 1, the Trinity right here.
Yo,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
rumor was it was a body.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it wasn't really a body because he had 0. It was kind of like a murder, but there was no body found.
Oh
It was kinda
God!
like-
It was right. It was a body bag inside a body bag. It was terrible. But unfortunately, that shit's only inside jokes between us because nobody else heard it. So we'll see what
Which is the
happens
worst.
tonight. Right.
Which was the worst. That's why I had to leave it at. I know what happened.
Right. Well,
I don't know what happened. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well,
Sounded like Kendrick Lamar. You want to
Right.
see a dead body?
right. Oh man. Well, Scott, glad you're here, man. Pooh will not be with us tonight. Apparently, Pooh got recruited to go drop nuclear bombs off in Hurricane Dorian, so he's busy tonight.
Is that from the
Nice.
Defy Life memo desk? Is that?
I got a memo.
That's
Okay.
fresh
Who's
off the
assistant?
memo desk.
Yes, fresh
Fresh
off the
off-
memo desk. Pooh is he's currently underwater, and he's dropping
Underwater.
off. Yeah, he's snorkeling in a hurricane, dropping off nuclear bombs.
Okay.
Man.
See, I thought we was going to at least say.
Snorkeling in a hurricane.
That's some Jason Bourne shit.
Hey,
Right.
that's no. Apparently, that's some Thomas Stevens shit. Jason
shit.
Bourne ain't got shit on Thomas Stevens.
Jason Pooh ain't. Yeah, I got it.
I
Jason
thought the
Pooh.
memo at least said that he was flying drones, but nope. I reread it. It's a snorkel. It's a snorkel.
It is a snorkel.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you, Pooh. Hope you report back safely to 45 and y'all get this hurricane sorted out. So we'll see. But I'm glad Pooh's not here on one hand because we are revealing the Defy Life official top 10 MCs list tonight. And I already have some zingers set up for a guy by the name of Mr. Tupac Shakur. So, Pooh, you will just have to hear him and you won't be able to respond, sir. So have fun in the hurricane. Oh, man. But I'm looking forward to this. Al, and we're going to just tease him a little bit. Again, give the people a reminder of what we did and how we got to this and what we can expect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't wait. So, again, this is the official Defy Life Network top 10. So, a few weeks ago, we were talking about GOAT MC list that had Joe Budden as the number 3 MC. And I really, that's my referral point to this, that top 10 list, because that's just the only thing I remember about that list. I don't know who their number 1 was, their number 2 was. I just remember they had Joe Budden as number 3, so we said that list sucks. So we said, well, let's create our own list. And it was like, yo, great idea. Put a survey together, sent it out to the fellas. We then sent it out to the entire network to get everybody's opinion. And instead of asking their top 10, we asked their top 20 MCs. And out of those top 20 MCs, we narrowed it down to a top 10 list. So basically, I looked at everybody's responses, and whoever was their number 1, they got 20 points. Number 2, they got 19 points, all the way down to their 20th, and that 20th MC got 1 point. Tallied up everybody's responses, and whoever was the highest MC is number 1, and just counted down to top 10 results, and that's who our top 10 list is, the top 10 scores. So it was dope because it's right. It's a simple methodology, but it's gonna allow for everybody to their comprehensive list, and let's narrow it down who we ranked as our top 10. And looking forward to hearing y'all's thoughts on it.
Now, wow. So we're unveiling the list on the show. Is the list going up on Defy Life?
Yes. So
Jay, what we put in the list?
yeah. So the list will go up on Defy Life as well on the website. So we will do a companion piece with the show. So it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Is it going to be a top 20 or just the top 10?
It'll be a top 10.
Okay.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, enough of that. We'll make y'all wait. Just marinate on that for a little while. Before we get into the meat of the show, as usual, got a little bit of house cleaning. As I did mention, everybody be on the lookout for the new website from the Defy Life family. We will have a podcast-specific dedicated website dropping this week, later on in this week. DefyLifePods.com will be our official podcast network website. So if you're looking for podcasts next week on GoDefyLife.com, they will no longer be there. You will have a direct link that will lead you to DefyLifePods.com. So that way you don't have to search for podcasts. You can scroll and find your favorite show, which will probably be all of them. You can find images and many bios of all the people across the network. So now you get to know who is the face behind this handsome voice of Regular Scott. I know you've been asking that for
That's
ever.
right.
So now you get to know what Regular Scott looks like. You get to know what Neat Cruz looks like. You get to know what Big Al looks like. You get to know what we all look like. Get to know a little bit about all of us. You can contact us directly from the site. So we're really excited about it. So we will definitely let you know when that rolls out. So again, it's DefyLifePods.com. Also,
right.
Today, which will now be yesterday by the time you guys hear this, the Defy Life gear fall line has dropped, and we are extremely excited about it. Yes.
What?
Yeah, day after Labor Day, the fall line dropped. Man, money.
Yo,
so we got an alternate logo now. We got the graffiti logo.
Ooh, we got the Defy graffiti logo.
Right.
It's so hard.
All right. Of course, we already had the book bags and the fanny packs out there for back to school. But now we've got jackets dropping. We've got new hat designs, new snapbacks. Got black leggings for the ladies. We've got coffee mug. Everything is out there.
That coffee mug is fresh. I checked it out this afternoon. That thing is dope.
It's dope.
Yo, get out there and mess with us, man. DefyLifeGear.com. DefyLifeGear.com.
Absolutely.
We got everything you need, man. We got something for you, no matter what your flavor is.
Man, I'm on the site right now.
Yeah, that shit is hot, yo.
Graffiti fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
That graffiti fire.
yeah. So we've got the T-shirts with the graffiti logo now, the sweatshirts. Now all the podcasts and the podcast gear for the fall. The podcast have sweatshirts now. So it's dope, man. We got socks with the graffiti logo on them and the regular logo. Yeah. So it's dope. Definitely check it out. If y'all got any questions, hit us up at info@godefylife.com. If you need help placing your order. And for your first order, enter promo code DefyLifeFirst. That is Defy Life First. All spelled out, no spaces. And you get 10% off your first order. So definitely go check it out. And lastly, this week we also, for the Defy Life podcast, as we always do, all the members of the podcast, we will start our NFL picks. So, Al, you won the first year in 2017. I won it last year. So we got, money would have finished butt naked last if we ain't spot him 8 points for missing the first week. But anyway,
Wow.
I forgot about that.
Wow.
I forgot about that.
Money
got
would have
charity?
actually won. Money would have actually won if my picks would have got counted for the first week.
So
I don't know.
explain that. But anyway, we all are 0-0 now. Heading into the season drops, opens up this Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're all excited
right.
about it. The picks are rolling in. Pooh, if you get back from the hurricane in time, get your picks in, sir. So Halil from Halil's Football Talk will be joining us. He asked last year, could he jump in on it? And he is our official football guy, so how could I say no?
Yeah.
So, so it'll be all of us, and all the way from Europe, Halil is submitting his picks.
Make sure we send it over to the Chap Dog folks, Jay and Couch Potato Jam.
You know, I thought about that, It's just spreading it out network wide and just doing it with everybody. So yeah, I may do that. So I'll send that over to them tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah, so we will everybody get their picks in. So we'll get this thing rolling, and somebody besides me and Al can win, maybe. Possible. If we let y'all. Nah, don't sound good.
I'm just warming up, son.
Right.
Although it'd be nice to get some, we spreading out the competition. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it should be. So it'll be fun. So on our first news tidbit, so I saw this graphic on, I think it was Facebook, sometime last week, and it was just an average price of a date in the United States, broken down by state. So first off, the the highest amount, of course, you guys know what the highest state was?
California.
Wasn't it Cali?
Highest state
Should have been
was
Cali.
New York.
highest state was New York. Yes.
Wow.
That makes sense too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So average date for average cost of a date in New York is $297.27.
Oh yeah.
Now you see why I've been in Atlanta
Right.
for 28 years.
Yeah.
That's part of the
that's
point right there.
that's preposterous.
Right.
That's cost of living. That's what that is.
Yeah. That's cost of living. Yeah. Must be.
What? Damn, bagels cost that much in New York?
Go. Everybody getting bagels.
I'm just saying, son.
Pizza the
Bagels
skyrocket.
and
Shit ain't cheap. Everything is double.
And coffee.
Man.
Golly.
Yeah.
Not $297
Right.
double though.
Right.
I mean, what the?
Yeah.
You
But
know,
can you imagine that date though? You be like, "Yo, let me get cheese on that, B." Like everything.
No, I can't imagine that, man.
But I mean, it's you got to look at it as the average.
Right.
Also, so that means also there's some real expensive dates in New York City that's going on. I mean, not everything is $300 a date, but some people paying $3,000.
Right.
I mean, like they paying a lot of money to eat and chill.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Man, for a date, man, come on, man.
Hey, it happens, man. But on the flip side, the state with the lowest cost per date average was South Dakota. $38.27. That's what the fuck. That sounds like Yosh. Is Yosh just going to South Dakota to take chicks on dates and shit? Like 4 for 4s for everybody.
Biggie bags,
Right.
cow tipping.
Yeah, real talk.
Exactly.
And a cow tipping.
What are you doing for $40? What are you doing for $40?
Hey, that's a
bags
solid movie
and a
date
cow
right there.
tipping.
That is a solid movie date.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it, though.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right, but if you think about
Oh
it,
yeah, no, that's it.
yeah, but yeah, and if you think about it,
I
like
don't know regular though, like for real, like 2 tickets. Because if you go to the so if you movie bougie like me, then you only go on the 3D IMAX. So those are $18 a pop. So
There you go.
that's already,
Right.
So then the drinks gonna be $6 each.
Right.
You
right.
might get a little popcorn. You
See,
might
here's
get a
the thing.
little.
You got to go on like a Tuesday when it's $5 Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? So that means the 3D.
Stretch the hours.
Yeah, stretch that out a little
right,
bit.
but
know
you
what I
also
mean?
have to think about what is available. Like how many 3D IMAX theaters you think there are in South Dakota?
That's true.
That's
One.
maybe one. Maybe
Right.
one.
So
Sioux
like-
Falls probably got it.
Right. Sioux Falls got the only 3D IMAX. So, of course, there's not as much to do. So you kind of forced to be cheap in certain regards. I don't know.
And
Al-
again, that's the average. So
Right.
while the average person is getting $38,
right.
somebody in South Dakota is getting a $19 date.
Somebody
Somebody
just saying.
got a $7 date.
I'm just
Right.
saying, what are they
Told
doing
you,
in South
man.
Dakota?
2 Biggie boxes and some cow tipping. That's
Right.
nothing.
But
That's the
also,
4 for 4 for real.
scarceness also leads you to creativity. So I'm sure there are a lot of free dates in South Dakota that are probably,
Okay.
so, if you've grown up with nothing around you, you figure out, like West Coast Jay said, you go cow tipping and hay riding. That shit don't cost nothing.
Telling you.
Yeah,
FarmersOnly.com. That's where I'm at. FarmersOnly.com.
Farmers, exactly.
You can
You know, if you look at the go ahead, my bad. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead.
Well, if you look at that chart, you like the Central America is just a whole lot cheaper than either the coast. Like the coastline seem to be where all the money is. Once you get into that Central America, though, like that seems to be where it seems to be a lot cheaper. Like North Dakota, South Dakota, 42.38.
Except
Nebraska,
for some reason, look at Minnesota though. What the hell is going on in Minnesota?
Right. Yeah.
All right.
It's got two beautiful cities by a Great Lake too.
They do, and
okay.
if they also have professional sports teams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
So those can be expensive dates.
It probably costs a little extra to bathe in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
It probably does. Absolutely. So Al, in Georgia, your average date. So over under on your average date. 121.12. You over or under 121.12 on your average date, like a real date with your wife?
Now, or like today.
Right.
I would say average date with my wife, over.
Okay. All right.
Look at you, big spender.
Well, I would say this: we don't date often.
Mm-hmm.
When we do date, we tend to get a hotel room down in Atlanta, stay downtown, and that's you got to factor that in as well.
Right.
And so yeah, definitely over.
Okay.
I'm mad that you started that like the most interesting man in the world. No, I don't date often.
Right.
Don't
date often.
But when I do date, I spend more than 121.
You know, when I do, I come home broke.
Yes.
Oh man, Scott, for you in VA, over under your average date. Ooh.
Wow.
Man, am I looking at 140?
Hey.
85.
Listeners, we're gonna have to post this. We're gonna have to post this chart up on the site too, Jay.
Yeah.
So you can see what we're talking
right.
about.
Yeah, I'll post it with the show.
Don't y'all got a Busch Gardens or something up there though?
We got a Busch Gardens and a King's Dominion, Water Country, but I mean 140 is a good amount. I'm under that. I'm probably like a good date. You know, for us is we both like to go to movies, so a good date is a nice dinner and a movie. So we're probably looking at about not too far, probably about 100.
And you got a newborn now, so that shit gonna drop. So yeah, you definitely gonna be under. You got
the movie's out.
Yeah, right. You got a newborn. Yeah, you might get lucky to spend $35. You might want to move to South Dakota, Scott. Yeah,
we get our food to go now, so we ain't got
right. Exactly. But do you include the babysitter's tab in the price of your date?
Yes, you do.
You have to.
No. The baby coming. The baby coming on the date.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Word. Well, yeah.
Grayson coming on the date.
Oh, he coming.
Is that a date? Is that a date when you bring a date?
That's a family outing.
Luckily, we've been fortunate enough that he's been he's been really good when we take him out places. Like he hasn't acted up one time. You heard that, knock on wood. Not one time since we've been out yet. So we've been fortunate.
It's the beer.
I get it, but is that? I don't know if that really.
Yeah, I don't know.
I appreciate you.
Though.
Right. I appreciate your vision and how you trying to continue to keep things exciting with the lady.
Yeah.
On that tip, I'm with you. But just to be technical,
that's not a date.
That's not a date, bro.
That's not a date.
That's not a date.
That's a family outing, sir.
That's a family outing.
So let's rewind to pre-Grayson.
Okay.
Right.
When you were still, you know what I'm saying, in your honeymoon phase, still courting, still actually treating your lady like a lady.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
That's what,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that.
Damn, I'm married to you had my baby.
Don't do that shit no more.
Here's how I can help you distinguish between the two. If during this experience you are given supervision to one of your children, like if that's part of your day, you got to watch the kid, and if the baby's with you, you got to watch the baby because you got to watch the baby. That's not a date. That's not a date. But I love it though. I love it.
What about like a lunch date? So you don't think that could be considered like a lunch date?
It's a family outing.
It's a family outing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, pre Grayson, we're looking at probably about $100.
Okay.
movie and dinner.
Gotcha. Okay. So that leaves me money, and well, first of all, let's see if we can speak for Pooh. So South Carolina, it's $84.92. Y'all think Pooh above or below that?
On the under.
Pooh on the under. I'm going under. Yeah, definitely going under for Pooh. Pooh. I ain't gonna put Pooh quite in South Dakota territory. Maybe Montana.
I know my dog kind of cheap. My dog
Yeah.
kind of cheap on the date.
Right. Yeah, that kid
55
bringing.
for Montana. Yeah, about Montana.
Yeah, that kid bringing 20 ounces to the restaurant. I know.
Come on,
kid.
I'll give him a Kansas. Kansas is a nice 2 IMAX tickets and an Applebee's. 2 for $20. That's about what that is.
Yeah, we'll give him Kansas.
I give him a 2 for $20.
Yeah, we'll give him. That makes sense. North Carolina, $88.53. Money.
Yo.
Over or under for you on an average date?
So the awesome thing about all y'all cats is married and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, the answer ranges depending on the number of dates that we've been on. Because I don't take a woman to a first date and like go all the way. You know, I'm not doing that. Like usually a first date, I just kind of want to see, you know,
set that bar low.
If we vibing, if there's chemistry, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I can do that. Right. I can do that over a bagel and a cup of coffee. You know, I can do that at, you know, at the park or whatever. Like, so, you know, as long as but, you know, part of the reason why when I had season tickets, why I own 2 seats is because I was like, shit, that's an automatic date. Like, so I just like, yo, who, you know, you want to come to the game tonight and all that. So just depending on the how many dates we've been on or how well I know you on my interest level in you, that depends on what I'm gonna do or what I'm gonna spend on a date. So that will range, but it can very easily be below or above that $88. But I will say, given my history and what I know I'm willing to spend, anywhere between the $68 and $70 range is about kind of where a date would typically start for me, and all the way up to maybe, you know, 125 before I start feeling like, oh yeah, you definitely got to put out. Like,
right.
Hey, so
like,
you be blown by the end of the night if you don't get none, huh?
Hey, sir, look here. Hey, you know, you can get home. You can get home without me being salty if I'm in that $70 range. Like, I'm like, okay, that's cool. If I hit 150 and you ain't talking about coming back to the condo.
She hit 150 money like, fuck you think you at New York? I ain't doing this shit. Like, oh man, you better take that shit to New York, cuz. Oh,
somebody said they wasn't expecting that. Was that you, Al?
That was me. You had me like, ooh, I never.
Al clutches pearls.
Al clutching pearls.
Right.
So needless to say, my first. That's why I don't let my first couple dates with a woman go over, you know, about $60 dollars, because, you know, it's a chemistry and comfort thing. So, you know.
Oh. All right. Oh man. All right.
That was
West Coast.
Like a gamer. That was beautiful. I like what you did there.
Right. Over under $88.53, sir.
The honest answer to that is it depends on which city in North Carolina I'm in.
Okay. Gotcha.
In Winston, way under.
Yeah, right.
Way under.
All right.
Now, if I'm in Charlotte, all right, then I'm probably a little bit over.
Right. And then I guess you got to account for gas to go to Charlotte. So yeah, you immediately over.
I'm a little bit over.
All right.
If I'm in Wilmington, definitely going to be over.
All right.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, definitely going to be over.
Yeah. Kernersville, you definitely. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not even close to the Kernersville. If I'm near the Greensboro Airport, way over.
Yeah. Right.
But that's the interesting part too, that these are by state.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's
that's
like,
true.
Like New York, that's $290 or whatever, and that includes Syracuse and Utica and Albany.
That's Albany.
But they ain't spending nothing like that.
Nothing.
Like, the New York City number is probably sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like I was looking at the Cali number at 226. Like it's one thing in San Francisco, it's another thing in LA, but Sacramento, probably not that number.
Not bad.
Correct.
Right.
We in Reading, I'm not
San
spending
Diego,
$220. Right.
That's crazy. That's a lot of, you know what's crazy? That's because first of all, let's pause for a second. That's a lot of pressure on guys.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying if you just want to get to know somebody, you know, like dating means you like into trying to get to know somebody to bring into your world, bring into your life, and like that's a lot of pressure on a dude. Like, damn, just to even try to get to know this chick, damn, I gotta now. You know, hey, it's a lot of pressure, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and Al, you made Scott, you made a point earlier, like around the coast, everywhere. Like, it's chicks taking advantage of that fresh seafood.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's chicks that will quote unquote date you just so you can feed them.
Oh yeah, right.
They actually have no interest in you whatsoever.
Yeah, it's plenty dudes walking around here not knowing that they are labeled as free meal in some chick's phone.
Hey, Money, let me ask you. I know you said that you'd be okay with, taking her home at that $60-$70 range and, just taking her home and that's it. How many times are you willing to do that?
Um,
How many free meals can she get out of you? Before you cut her loose.
Honestly, before I start being like, hey, what's up? What you
yeah, right.
Why we not at the condo?
Before it becomes so, what is you bringing groceries now? Like, what's good? You cooking?
Probably like 4.
Okay.
Hold on, but 4, you done spent $200.
Right.
Probably like 4. Now, cause I get it. I understand. Plus, people have to have a comfort level with you to, come to your crib and all that. But too many more past 4, and I'm like, hey, something ain't right. Like we ain't progressing.
Right. This ain't going nowhere.
This ain't going nowhere.
This ain't going nowhere. So, but I'm gonna say 4. But if I'm taking you out on more than on a second date, I have like some sort of interest in you anyway. So, we ain't going on dates because I want to chill with you. Like I can chill with my homeboys. Nah,
true that. Keep it 100. Keep it 100.
I can chill with my niggas. Like for real. Now regular. I appreciate. I'm keeping it 100. Like I can chill. Relationship status. Like I agree with a lot of I don't. Very, very small part of me believes that you can actually have a true, legitimate woman as a friend. So I don't really have If I'm taking you out on dates and we hanging out like that, I have some kind of interest in you. I have some kind of, I'm trying to see if that interest is mutual or trying to get to know you for whatever reason.
But you know what that lets me know? That lets me know that you have not met the right woman. If you, and I say that because when you say my interest is not to chill with you, like. When you meet the right one, you can chill with her, and it won't bother you.
True that. That's real.
So that's why I say that. So yeah, that's why you're single. So I'd rather you be single than
just hit me with some real love shit.
No doubt.
Wasting your money.
But I like your thought pattern though. Hey, stop at $70, man, until you find one you can chill with, and then
that's
you
right.
spend. Damn right. But yeah, man, my wife from New York, so all my dates is over $88.53.
What's this?
Shit, walking out the door. I already know. Yeah.
So you're saying no 2 for $20s for you?
No. We save the 2 for $20s when the kids are with us. When we go on regular Scott dates, we save that for the kids.
Hey, look. But with the kids, you still probably spending more than the 88.
Right, man. Yeah, but
it would be so dope if we could get like women's perspectives on this. I would love to see what the opposite sex has to say about this.
Don't say that too loud. My wife might hear you. Don't say that. This is my me time, sir.
True that. Because I just think there's different perspectives, man. I think I think women feel like you should just be able to take them out on the date, spend half your check. You know what I'm saying? Like,
God dang.
Damn.
Half your
check.
I think sometimes
they want more than church.
Sometimes these women out here, man, look, I'm single, man. Sometimes these women, they be out here with these crazy, unrealistic expectations, and
hey,
Yeah,
but let me tell you something though. When you get married, that shit don't change. Get used to it, man.
Oh wow.
Sidebar.
Don't tell me that.
Hey, man.
Y'all didn't tell me that.
Hey,
what was y'all expecting?
I thought when you got married it changed. That's what you mean.
Oh.
No nothing changed but the title. No nothing changed but the title.
Al just hit the most nonchalant. Oh,
right. He was like, "That's what you thought."
That's what you
word.
thought.
Okay.
Word.
I see. We need to talk.
Okay.
I'm learning today.
Yeah.
The gentlemen are schooling me.
Yeah. Yo, I literally bought my wife a car last week. She brings my car back on E.
Oh,
wow.
That's tough.
oh wow.
Yeah. Think about that. The reason she was driving my car is because I was washing her car. That's like So don't just listen to Al. Just whenever you start thinking differently in your head, just play in your head.
Oh.
And
that's the realest answer you're gonna get.
Right. Right. Oh man. But before we turn this into an episode of relationship status, right.
Because we can.
Right. We ain't gonna cross over in y'all's lane. We will be grateful if y'all ever had us on though. CL.
That'd be kind of dope. That'd be kind of dope.
It would be kind of dope, but we'll see. But yeah, man, we definitely we'll post this when we post it on the site so everybody can check these numbers out. This is pretty interesting. Moving on to our first listener question. So last week we got a question asking us, and Scott will ask you.
I just had a quick thought.
Sure.
I don't know if relationships that is ready for us married men to be on that show.
Nah.
That's a lot of pressure, a lot of experience, I mean, I know y'all talking about it, but I feel like that's like middle school and I'm in college. Like, I don't know if y'all ready for me to have this conversation.
Right. Hey, right.
I'm just saying, like,
it is a different realm. It is a different realm.
That's my point. I'm not trying to be dismissive in no way, shape, or form. I just mean in terms of what we've experienced. And I know everybody's experiencing something different, but that would be interesting. I would love to hear that conversation.
Yeah, it is, and that's one thing I've learned. And Al, Scott, let me know if you agree. Is once you get married, a lot of like the hard stances you have on things go by the wayside. Because
true indeed.
Like it's like I remember being single and just having these hard stances on. I'll never do this. I'll never. It's a. You get married. A lot of times it's like, man, whatever.
It's not even worth it. This ain't
right.
Because some of the things that you worrying about, like, do I want to be with this person, are removed from the conversation. So it's more about how can we make this work.
Yes.
That's your focus as you're interacting with that person.
Right.
And let me just correct myself, because I don't want to. I know people listen to this show. Not college and middle school. Like that's a little bit too different. More like college and graduate school. Let me say it. It's more. Right. I don't want to be insulting. That wasn't my point. I was really just trying to say it's different. It's just
right. Different. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different, and it's, and I can actually, every single episode of Relationship Status, I listen to it, and there are, every episode is things like, I can remember thinking like that.
Yeah, me too.
It's just, it's different. Sometimes I'm like nostalgic, like, oh shit, I remember thinking like that. Sometimes I'm relieved, like, fuck, I remember thinking like that. So it's just different.
When I listen to that show, honestly, I learn more because I didn't date a lot.
Gotcha. Well, you and your wife been together since y'all was like 6.
It's so starkly different. Like as I'm learning, it's like, damn, wow.
Right.
So
yeah. So again, man. Shout out to Neek and CL and Yosh. Shit, we starting to shout them out like every week on here. So y'all doing something right because we all listening. But that would be an interesting conversation. So we just putting the bait out there. It's up to y'all to catch it.
Please. It might be on that show.
That was a plug right there. That was a big relationship.
Hey, for real. Right. So last week we got the question from one of our listeners. What is, and Scott, I want to ask you this question before we move on. So the question last week, I'm sure you heard it, but I want to get your answer on this. What is the best life-changing decision you've made as an adult?
So, and I heard all y'all's answers last week, and it was really cool just to get more insight on you guys. But for me, becoming a basketball coach was a big life-changing thing for me. Going from being a player to the coach, because I became a coach when I turned 20 years old. So, kind of still fresh out of high school, playing at college, and not for college, but like intramurals and stuff like that. And, come back home and I get offered to coach this middle school homeschool team, and it would be volunteer work, so I wouldn't get paid. And I caught the bug, and I got attached to some of my kids. I moved up with them from middle school to the JV level to varsity. I was assistant coach for varsity, and I moved up with the kids. And, and it kind of goes into the question that's going to be for this week, but I just felt the real connection, and I could tell I was making a difference in their life. And just, the parents coming up and, saying, he's looking forward to basketball. He's been keeping his grades up so he can play basketball, because I got a certain set of rules and criteria you got to keep up outside of basketball if you want to play for me. It's just always been a thing. And so being a coach for basketball has really kind of changed me and helped me kind of grow up and know that people are watching you all the time.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, it's a good one.
I like that. Yep, I like that.
Okay. Well, that leads us to this week's question. And we only got one listener question this week because we're going to be getting deep into this hip-hop stuff. But Dwayne from Atlanta. Shout out to Dwayne. Shout out today. Dwayne wants to know, he says, your answers to the best life decision intrigued me. Do you guys have mentors, or do any of you mentor anybody else? Al, you first. Do you have a mentor, or do you mentor anybody?
Yes and yes. So I like to think that I have both kind of 3 informal mentors, but people that I check in, sit down with regularly as in like once a year. You know what I mean? Like I just have a sit down conversation. Here's where I'm at. Let me get your insight on where I'm going professionally, and also throughout that year can also just email them to just ask them a question or get their insight on something. Right. People that I've known probably 15 years in Atlanta, then just kind of picked up over the years. So just real good people. And I think mentoring is like being mentored, and I think mentoring, are really essential in this world. And then I probably started mentoring when I was in my 30s, where I could say I probably I was working at a nonprofit, Project Grad, and it was a small office, and we were serving hundreds of kids, and that was just one of the extra tasks they gave us. I was the data guy. I really didn't even work with the kids. Right. But because I was on staff, I was a young black male, they was like, oh yeah, we're going to need you to start connecting with these kids and do more than just analyze our data. And ever since then, that's just kind of been a role in my community. I think we should pass on what we've learned. Now, I think at this stage of my career, I mentor by referral basis. So people will call me or email me and be like, yo, I need you to connect with so-and-so, like someone in my life. I think you could make a difference in their life if you was their mentor. And that's pretty much when I will offer my, like, you know, be a mentor to that person based on that referral. But rule number one for me with mentoring is I only help people who, again, want to show some initiative. Right. Like, because those people I'm willing to pour into.
Gotcha. Okay. West Coast, what about you? Do you have a mentor, or plural, or do you mentor anyone?
Yeah, everybody on the show is my mentor, but I don't know if you knew that about yourselves. But it's pretty much true.
Sign me up.
All right.
Like everybody on the show, I feel like if I actually have questions, comments, or concerns, I know that I can reach out and find out.
Absolutely.
Word.
So as for in a field, like whenever I think of mentorship in particular, I think of in a field. And so no, I don't have one, and no, I don't mentor anyone, because I haven't ever decided on a field that I wanted to actually, that's what I want to dedicate my life to.
Gotcha.
So when I say that you guys are my mentors, like, yeah, if I have married people questions, then that's what y'all are there for. If I have people older than me questions, then that's what y'all are there for. If I got what am I finna do or I'm about to be in Charlotte money, what you doing questions, that's what y'all there for. You know, like that's how I feel like I'm supposed to look at you. I'm supposed
not to spend $400 on a date. You call us.
Yeah, right. That's what y'all there for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But overall, like I said, it's not it's specifically because I didn't specialize in anything that I don't feel like I have an actual mentor.
Gotcha.
You know, but there's always people like I always go back to the Henry Ford model of stuff. Like, no, I don't know the answer to that, but I know somebody that does.
Gotcha.
So I look at all of that.
Okay. All right. Money. Do you have a mentor, or do you mentor anyone?
That's a yes and an extra yes. You know, heavy yeses on both. My idea behind having a mentor is just being able to take someone's knowledge or someone's experience or their moral compass, you know, or their values and behold them or behest them to yourself. And those are usually things that speak to you specifically based on your own moral compass and values. So I can say throughout my lifetime, I've had tons of mentors, whether that be coaches or my parents or my uncles or my friends, you know, like, and I don't think it's an age thing. I just think it's if I can look at someone and I can say, oh God, wow, they're really good at that, and maybe I'm not, then I'll go to them and say, hey, let me get some advice on, you know, like when we started this Defy Life thing, I went to people that started businesses and said, hey, like, how do we get this stuff off the ground? Like, you know, so it's just, you know, even in my professional world, I do the same thing, like, you know, and that's just because I'm always willing to learn. It excites me. It's one thing that gets me up in the morning. It's something that I don't know that I can know. And so I'm also a mentor many times over for those very same reasons. I don't have any children. but I have a ton of like nieces and nephews and kids that's been in my life, and friends and associates, and where I can help, I will, whether that, we've coached AAU basketball, and we wrote a NASA program in college, Thomas, myself, and KD, and so that was very, very successful, and so that was kind of my first official role in a mentor capacity. But then we went on ahead and ran sites and wrote grants and nonprofits and things of that nature. So I'm very, very, I'm from that world. So, I tell people all the time I work in software, but, people are my first love. I went to school for social psychology because I wanted to know how people's roles and environments and socio and economic and financial factors played a role in, how you think or how you perceive the world and things like that. So big yeses to both of those questions.
Cool. All right. Look, Scott, you touched on it. So do you have a mentor, and talk about your role as a mentor?
So I did have. I feel like at every different stage in my life, I've been fortunate enough to have a mentor for it. Like during high school, I know my basketball coach was a big mentor for me, as far as kind of really preparing me to go out in the world, and not just with basketball. He was just always there for me whenever I needed someone to talk to, no matter what was going on. If I needed help with school, he was just a good person for me to look up to, and really was kind of my inspiration for coaching. And then, at my first job, shout out to V's. V's was a big mentor for me. He really kind of took me under his wing and showed me, how to be successul.
And you turned out pretty decent anyway.
and I still made it out okay.
Right.
So, and he's a great family man, and
right.
I was mentioning how someone's always watching, and I pay attention to that stuff without even him noticing. And to me, that's a sign of a great mentor, is someone who, it doesn't matter whether you're watching or not. That's a good person.
Right.
So, and I kind of take, what I mean? Like, I think that's a big part of it is when they don't think someone's watching, they're still doing the right thing. Mm-hmm. Like that's so important in being a mentor.
It's character.
And character. Exactly. And so I feel like me as a mentor, every year I get new kids. Sometimes I'll have the same kid come back if, he's young enough, or before he moves up to the next level. But every year I get new kids, and that's another chance for me to take someone else under my wing. And, I try my best to, always do the right thing, because like I mentioned, you never know who's watching, and you never know what someone, thinks about you. So you just need to do, the best thing you can do is just do the right thing as often as you can. Just be a good person, have good character. Right. And that's one thing I strive to teach to my kids is, basketball is something that we do. We want to compete, we want to be the best, but your character off the court is way more important than anything you do on this floor. Because if you don't have character, anything else you do is just mute. It's just you're just putting on a show for no reason with an empty shell. So, mentoring has been a big part of my life. So I try to make sure that I can be a good mentor for a lot of the youth that I help out as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. It's like I have like I always look at it as direct mentors and indirect mentors. Like there's some people that are my mentors that they don't even know that so whether it's somebody I know, whether it's somebody I follow online, there's always a way to get mentorship and gain mentorship from anyone. But I've been lucky enough to have family members, big cousins like Al, who even not knowing I was being mentored in my youth, and looking back, and Al has been one of my biggest mentors. Uncles. Al has brothers that have been my mentors. I had a brother-in-law who's been my mentor. So I've been lucky enough to have family members who I could always reach out to. of course, coaches. But I'm, kind of along the lines of what you said, Money, is something I learned as I got older is, and I always live by this, is if I'm always the smartest person in the room, I need to find another room. And so whatever I can learn from anyone, because when you stop learning, you get comfortable and you don't grow. So whether it's you guys, I feel like this is a form of mentorship every single week when we speak.
Yeah.
And the ins and outs and of running this business and growing this business. Whether it's never anything that I feel like I know everything about. So whether it's Scott giving me pointers on podcasting, or whether it's talking to anyone from the Defy Life family and on any subject, it's a form of mentorship for me. And then vice versa. I always feel like, I have something I can offer, and I'm never afraid to share my knowledge, with anyone. I really don't see how people are like threatened by sharing their knowledge. To me, I like to see people grow. I like to see people do things that they're afraid to do, but they do it anyway. So those things, I get joy out of those things. So when I'm sharing things with people, whether it's kids or adults or men, women, anyone, I like to see people step out and take chances. So that's just how I'm wired. But damn good question, Dwayne. And thanks for listening. Yeah. We appreciate the follow-up question from last week. Those are always interesting. So, all right, well, we're going to get into this hip-hop conversation. We're going to jump into a commercial really quick, and we'll be back and talk some top 10 MCs.
Yeah.
Best Medicine Podcast with Simba, sparking positive change in the community, having real conversations and therapy. The laughter's the best remedy. Got that heavy dose of humor for your hearts to heal. With mental health, it can't get any more real, yeah. Best Medicine Podcast. Laugh, love, learn. Best Medicine Podcast.
Best Med Pod, it's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bruh. Come get your weekly diagnosis Thursday at midnight, only on the Defy Life Podcast Network. Check us out, though.
Yo, that's our guy Simba Roar from the Diagnosis, the Best Med Podcast. Definitely check him out. He's debuting this week on the Defy Life Podcast Network, so y'all definitely check Simba out Thursdays at midnight. So, yeah, man, we back. This is episode 123 of the Defy Life Podcast. It's JR, West Coast J, Money, Al, Regular Scott. Al, man,
yes,
we ready for this. So, you touched on it at the beginning of the show. We've been kind of teasing this for the last couple weeks. Definitely a dope idea to do this. So we are about to unveil the official Defy Life Top 10 MCs.
Okay. Y'all ready to get into it?
Man, I'm so excited.
I'm ready to get into the sun.
Let me just give a little intro, because honestly, for those who ain't been listening to the show, I can be a snob, right? So when it comes to my hip hop, when it comes to pizza, when it comes to probably grilling, those are probably it. Maybe my kids. I can be a snob and shit, right? Yeah. So this was therapeutic to me, actually, to go through this process, see all of the responses coming in, and to still kind of embrace the list and be able to embrace the process that we've gone through. I really feel better at the end of this. Just a little sharing of, because what I'm learning, because I actually did a little preview of the list to my homeboys, right? So I was like, let me just, because these are my boys. We've been listening to music together 30 years deep, right? So we're very similar. We know the music, we know the culture. What do y'all think about this list? And one of the things a takeaway just from those conversations is, at the end of the day, what this is really about is learning who and learning why. So kind of learning who people think is their GOAT. That's always interesting. But then also learning why people think they are ranking these MCs the way they are. I think it's also been pretty interesting as well. So there's no real right or wrong is what I'm learning. And it's just more about exposure and some of the things we talked about last week that, exposure, where you grew up at, what type of whatever aspect of the art you tend to like compared to others. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm kind of proud of this list because everybody on this list is an MC. And we had over 100 rappers on that list, and some were more rappers than MCs. This list that we're about to share tonight is all MCs, so I'm pretty proud of that, y'all. But I got a couple of questions before I get into the list, right? So one by one, let's start with Jay. Who was your number one MC? I'm gonna ask this question, and I'm gonna ask, who was your GOAT? Your top five. Give me your top five. And then I also want to know, defend your number one, who you had as your number one MC. And just to keep it brief, let's do this in 30 seconds if we can.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with Jay. Who was your top five? And then defend your number one.
All right. My top five, starting from one, I just go ahead and say Biggie. Number two is Rakim. Number three is Eminem. Number four is Andre 3000.
Okay.
And number five is Black Thought.
Okay.
And the reason Biggie's my number one,
Yes, sir.
first and foremost, is the greatest storyteller in hip hop history. There's not many MCs you can put on and have them tell a story, and you can visualize and literally have faces put to names of people who don't exist. So that's like, it's an incredible gift for him, and his wordplay, his ability to be an instrument over a beat, and then his versatility. His ability to tell stories, to be gutter, to make party music, to sell records, like everything encompassing. I don't think there's any other rapper who can do on every level what he does, or what he was able to, and still does, even after his death. He still does it.
Okay. Let's go to West Coast. Who was your top five? And defend your number one. 30 seconds.
All right, top five. E40, Jay-Z, Outkast. Since you wouldn't let me separate them, I had to separate them. And then number five was Eminem. I told you I was mad about that.
I ain't mad at you for bringing it up. I would bring it up too. I ain't mad at you.
Why is E40 my GOAT?
Yes,
based solely on the criteria you gave me. Consider battle skills, charisma, consistency, originality, flow, longevity, lyricism, social impact, and influence on other MCs.
My man reads the fine print. That's what I'm talking about.
So when I thought about it all the way through, like 40 got a new album that just came out, his 28th studio album. There's your longevity. One of the songs on there is called GOAT. And the lyrics in the song say, name a rapper who influenced more rappers than me, my nigga. I'll wait. Name a nigga who put more slang in the game, my nigga. I'll wait. And so there's your social impact and your influence on other MCs. His flow is the reason why I can listen to any MC and hear every word. Charisma, like you've seen him at the finals. My man had on a Bedazzled Warriors coat. Like, get out of here with that. Consistency, at least one album, maybe two every year. And originality, I still ain't never heard nobody sound like Fonzo Rigadale. Not one near, not near, nada.
Okay. Money. Top five, defend your number one.
My number one was Mr. Carter, man. It was Jay-Z.
Okay.
At two, I believe I had, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I had Tupac. At three, I had Biggie. At four, I believe I had Andre 3000. And five, I think I had Drake. Or I could have had those inversed.
Yes, you had that inverse. Drake was
4 and Andre was 5.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Then, all right, and defend my number one. Man, what hasn't Jay-Z done, man? I mean, the kid, I thought very, very hard, and I wanted to put other guys there, but I couldn't when I started thinking about Jay and his longevity and his charisma and his impact and his cultural relevance, his cultural impact, and the things that he's out there doing for these young brothers, man, right now. I couldn't give that spot to anyone else right now. I think he's just heavy involved with everything hip hop, the things not hip hop, social activism. I mean, he spends his money to get, to defend these people that are wrongly charged with other crimes. He's led certain activist programs in all types of communities. He's instrumental with the Meek Mill situation. The things that he's done, just even in the last couple of years, man, I just have a whole new respect for Jay as he's wielding what I call his power, man, and so that's the reason why I gave him that number one spot. Not to mention his flow is crazy. I think he's super clever.
Hey, how come Money get 90 seconds?
Classic bars, classic verses, albums, so on and so forth. I'll end there.
Okay. And last but not least, well, for me, Regular Scott.
So my 1 through 4 pretty much stay the same all the time. It's just when I get to number 5, that changes on me. So my number 5 as of right now is Lil Wayne. Number 4. So my 5 is and my 1 through 4 is pretty much set, but we just kind of talked about off air real quick. My 5 through everything else, it changes. Like I'm pretty sure I had Nas down is what you told me, but I'm gonna change that now on the spot to Lil Wayne, and then I had Jay-Z number 4, Big number 3, Pac number 2, and Eminem is my number 1. His longevity, being able to adapt his style, change it. He was the rapper nobody wanted to have on their song because they knew he was probably going to outshine them. Like when you get a reputation like that, that says something. And I mean, let's just address the elephant in the room. He was a white boy coming into a black man's game, and he held his own and kind of dominated the game for a little bit. So that's my GOAT.
That's what's up. So my top 5 was I had KRS, Nas, Eminem, Black Thought, and Jay-Z. And for me, I think I like KRS. I think it's more of a fact that when it comes to MCs, like there's 3 things that really, really matter to me and tend to separate who I tend to like and elevate as MCs. One is how can you freestyle? And like off the top as well as just on a beat. Like for me, that shit gets me going in terms of this culture. It's one of the things I've always preferred. I think, can you battle? Like, when someone comes after you, how do you go back at them? And that dude has never lost a battle. So that shit matters to me. His longevity, but also the consciousness that he's always trying to elevate in his music. And while I appreciate a good song as much as anybody, somebody who can take me mentally and spiritually somewhere while I'm listening to music, like whether you get me moving physically or you get me moving mentally. Like I love MCs who do both, but I tend to like the MCs who get me moving mentally more than just physically. So he's real versatile in his skills, still putting out music. I mean, still doing tours, So like that's where I tend to. And he wrote a book, like on a Bible of like the gospel of hip hop. I think anybody who can MC and write a Bible, like that's you might go. Two. I got another question for y'all. Let's start with Jay again. Who are you guessing is our number one?
Oh, wow. If I had to guess across the network, I would say, it's tough. I'd say Jay-Z across the network.
Okay. Money.
I'm gonna have to agree with my main man over there, man. I'm gonna have to say I think Jay got it.
Regular.
Big.
West Coast.
I think we're going back to S. Carter.
Okay. Jay-Z. Okay, just putting it down for the record. Ho, right? And okay, I got some questions I'm gonna ask y'all after we reveal, but now let's get to the reveal.
Here we go, please.
Here we go.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
So
How
now,
you doing it? You starting at number 10?
I'm starting at the bottom. I gotta start at the bottom.
Okay.
Now at number 10. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give y'all a few numbers and then kind of get y'all feedback. So I ain't gonna go all the way through the list. I'm gonna go through give a couple of the names and their numbers. We can stop, we can discuss, and then we'll go to some more. All right?
Just for me though, can you go through like maybe like 12 and 11 to just
okay, just so you know who's at the bottom of the list, right? Okay, I'll give you that.
Who just made it? Who
just missed it?
I'll give you 10 just misses. Busta Rhymes, Drake, KRS-One, 50 Cent, DMX, Big Boy, Snoop, Lupe Fiasco, Lupe, Kendrick Lamar, and Kanye West, and we'll stop there.
Wow.
Stop there. Okay.
Accepted.
Okay, so those is the notable mentions to the list. Now, I'm telling you, my number one is not on the list. Just for the record, I didn't catch that.
I see.
I caught that. Okay,
right.
Okay. So let's go with the top 10 lowest score. There was actually a tie. All right. Okay. So there's actually a 3-way tie for number 10.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Leave it to Defy Life to have 12 MCs on our top 10. But fuck it. That's how we define life.
Right.
So the top 10 are Black Thought, Ice Cube, and Redman.
The Funk Doctor, who
The Funk Doctor spot.
Don't get it twisted.
Number 9 is Kiss, Jadakiss.
Okay.
So those are our bottom 4. How y'all feeling so far?
Jay to the.
I can live with it.
Fuck with Jay to the. I can live with that.
Okay.
I'm real happy Jadakiss made the list. To be honest.
Okay. Let's just get some feedback.
Yeah,
The next 3. Number 8, Rakim. Number 7, Nas.
Okay.
Number 6, Weezy, MF Baby, Lil Wayne.
Okay.
That's strong. That's
All
strong.
right, how we feeling so far? I mean, as a lineup, if you got Lil Wayne, Nas, and Rakim batting 6, 7, and 8, your top of your lineup gotta be all that.
Right, and Nas is where, and Nas, I have Nas ranked personally 7, so that falls right in line with what I think.
Okay.
Hey, my top 5 looking real good. What's about to come?
Number 5, shout out to Pooh, Tupac.
What?
Yeah, man. Pac was number 20 on my list, bro.
Yeah, Pac was like,
And I'm
I think
from
Pac
the
was
Bay.
like 12 or something to me.
Wow.
Wow.
Here's what Pac had going for him. He was on everybody's list, though.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right, he's on everybody's list. That's what got him to where he's at. Is he might not? Some of those guys below us didn't get votes from some folks.
Yeah,
So,
Nas was not on my list at all.
Oh wow.
wow.
That's tough.
On the entire 20. On the entire 20 now.
That's
what I'm talking about. He didn't. Some people didn't think Nas was in their top 20. That's why I was like, "Ooh, these are the things I'm gonna bring up after the list." But let's keep going. Let's keep going. So 5 is Tupac. 4, A.T. Aliens, Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Okay. 4, Andre's in the top 5.
It's because they were supposed to go in together. Ain't no Uno, they a duo.
Nah. Andre deserved that spotlight on his own.
Yeah. True that. Because Big Boy didn't. No. He was an almost mention.
Big Boy was almost up there, man.
He was almost. Okay. I got you. So number 3, Eminem.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right.
I can stomach that.
Number 2, Biggie Smalls.
It's number 1.
It's Jay.
None other.
Jigga. Carter. Jay-Z is the number 1 on the Defy Life podcast network.
And with that, I quit Defy Life. No, I'm just kidding.
And so again, like when I shot this list of my boys, there was some polls as far as they was considered, because people that we would have voted higher. But as we talked about it and we text, and I'm sure we'll discuss tonight, this is a diverse network. So what I appreciate is that from a diverse network, this is the list we produce. But again, to me, this is a respectable list, though. There's some good, very, very, very good MCs on this list. So
absolutely,
I'm proud of the list. I'm very proud of it.
I'm proud of it too. I'm actually, I agree. Right. I agree with most of it. Disagree with a few things, but I can't. Like, the things that I disagree with are highly, highly, highly debatable.
Yeah, I feel that. So, I got a couple of questions, and so when y'all were putting this list together, what is it that you valued, right? Something that you thought was important that you don't think other people valued enough?
First and foremost?
Yeah, just give me one word. It was something that you value, but as you listen to what we took into consideration, you know what? Y'all don't value this enough, but you value it highly.
Lyricism.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Let's go. Money. What you got?
See, I think everybody accounted for lyricism. I don't think people accounted for, let's say, commercial success, like hits.
Commercial success. West Coast. How about you?
Oh, that's a fair question. I feel like influence on other MCs might not have been nearly as high as I would have liked it.
I could agree with that too.
Okay. I like this. Regular, how about you?
Timelessness.
Ooh.
Good one.
I just, I think, I mean, some of it, like Jay has a lot of timeless songs, but I think, like, some people who have some timeless hits probably should. Like, Pac has timeless songs, man. I know number 5 is not like crazy low, but I'm surprised he's not in like the top 3. I know it's not like a big jump, but that just I'm surprised by that.
I agree with you, Regular. I thought Pac could have been 3 or 4 easily, but
Well, that's funny because I
will repeat. He was number 20 on my list.
Right,
almost didn't make the cut.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of it.
That's crazy to me. Like,
that's crazy to me too.
It's crazy to me.
Like, I'm completely on the other side of the fence.
Jay.
You are West Coast.
Agreed.
And you talk about influence on other rappers, and you got. That's my pop.
Yeah. So my point is, like, there's been other MCs since him. Like, people are still putting out music, so wouldn't they also be influenced by some of the artists who are putting out album number 6, 7, 8, 9 more than listening to Tupac from 20 years ago?
Well, think like a guy like Eminem. Like just take like Eminem. He's influenced a lot of people, and he was influenced by Pac. So you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like without
so
Pac, we don't
indirect.
get. Yeah, indirectly, right? Yeah, indirectly. And I think the same thing goes for Big too, and it goes for Jay and like Wayne. Like those are all big. Ice Cube, 3000. Like they're all big influences, indirectly still influencing the game today.
But I don't think Pac directly. I don't think his music is all that timeless though. I think
Really? Like
yeah.
California
Are we
I
recording
think
now?
yeah, we
we're
are.
now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I think Pac's flow is dated. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. Like I think if Big was to drop today, if Pac was to drop today, if Jay was to drop today, if Andre was like, I think Pac would be the one that people would be like, his flow kind of whack.
Yeah, but
I disagree completely.
Yeah, I do. Too.
I don't think like
Pac
I mean,
flow, man. He was a poet and a storyteller. Like that, his flow was crazy, man.
But my point is though that there's a lot of poet and storytellers continuing to put out music. So wouldn't the MCs of the J. Cole era, the Kendrick Lamar era, wouldn't they also be listening to some of those other dope storytellers who are continuing to put out music in the 2000s?
Well, no, because I don't think Pac is like Pac. I don't think Pac is as lyrical as a Kendrick Lamar. Pac is not like as this. Pac wasn't a dope lyricist. Pac was, to me, Pac was like he's like the Mary J. Blige of rappers. Like, he wasn't that dope lyrically. Like, Mary J. ain't the best singer, but you can feel what she's singing. Pac, you felt what he was
Pac
saying.
was charismatic.
Right.
Pac was charismatic.
Pac's how he said things and the
And
subject matter
said.
and the subject matter on which he touched.
Right.
Carried and masked a lot of his deficiencies as a like if I was walking down the block and I saw a bunch of dudes in a cipher, Pac wouldn't be the one dude I would be like, yo, you know what the fuck he said?
This kid
like,
is dope.
Right, he wouldn't be that dude. But there's a lot of other things that carry.
He was studio based. Like when he was in the studio, like even the little things, like he records over both tracks at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Did he have any ad libs? No, he didn't have ad libs because he was literally repeating the same verse. Now, I'll give him the consistency. Mm-hmm. He could do the same verse in exactly the same tone and cadence.
Right.
And so he would record it over the left and the right. Pac came out of both speakers when he listened to him. Mm-hmm. So he sounded bigger than life.
Yeah, I hear all that. But another thing I think that kind of separated Pac from me was he would go like him that beef that he had with Big and just the whole East Coast, like that's something that people gravitated to. Like that dude was at the forefront. Like people would, if he were to come out today, like you said, people would gravitate towards that because he wouldn't have some of these rappers in the game that are rapping now if Pac was around.
But I would counter that by saying that wasn't Pac. That was the machine that was sparking the East Coast, West Coast. But that wasn't all Pac. Like, you know, he was a puppet in that. Pac got played in that whole scenario.
Well, yes,
he died in Vegas because of it.
He was still the face of it though. Like you can't just have a random person be the face. Like whoever the face is has to be somebody that you can kind of lean on.
But
we know that
like,
today. We know that today. We didn't know that shit in '96.
I knew that in '96. Like I didn't fall into that whole. I didn't fall into that whole Pac versus Big and East Coast West Coast. I didn't fall into that because like it was
literally everyone else did.
But I'm speaking. Yeah, but this is my vote. Right, so this is what I'm saying is like, and so the fact that he was like naive enough to be sucked into that speaks volumes to me, because as an artist and as an MC, like you got to be able to know when to respond and when not, which is what I thought was a genius move for Biggie to completely like stay out of the direct shots at Pac. And just kind of let him be a clown on his own.
Oh wow! Here we go.
Hold on. Wait.
Like,
can I just interject right here? Can I interject?
Yeah.
for the sake of let's not having a 3-hour show, right? Let me just interject, take a pause, and give my answer to the question because I still have one more question I want to ask y'all.
Gotcha.
So my answer to what do I value that I wish others valued more is the distinction I tend to make between rappers and MCs. So like this is the GOAT MC list, and like they're like to me, to Jay's point about Tupac being the dopest lyricist as an MC, like to me he wasn't. Like he wasn't in my top 10 MC list because he wasn't the greatest, and he was a great rap artist. And there's some like great rap artists, but in terms of that MC shit, that guy who gonna be in the cypher spitting and going at cats like that, like that's where that MC shit come in. And I'm not looking at Tupac as the greatest of MC, but dope. I agree with everything in terms of the impact and how the community and how folks is still riding or die with Tupac. That shit is legendary and elite level when it comes to the hip hop impact on this world. Tupac is probably one of the most influential hip hop artists ever.
Yeah, Tupac was a pure charismatic.
So the reverse is my next question. What don't you value that you think others value too much? Let's go back to Jen.
I would say, like, I would say, well, to put it in one, if you got to put it in one, I would say longevity, right? And simply, and I say that because you can be mediocre for a long time and just be around, and people just don't forget you, like Fred McGriff. Fred McGriff got 500 home runs, but he played for 25 years.
When every time you try to make this point,
but Fred McGriff, no, and that's no knock. That's no knock. I'm not laughing though. Like that's no knock on Fred McGriff. I think there's a value to being around for a long time, but the antithesis to that to me is like Tony Baselli, the best left tackle I've ever seen before, but he only played for 7 years because he got hurt. But while he was playing, never seen anything like him. Like, I think there's something special to having this peak that no one else can reach, even if they've been around for, which is why Jay-Z's not in my top 5, is because I never thought that Jay, again, was this dope lyricist, and I value lyricism. I never thought that Jay was this dope lyricist that I've never heard anything Jay say to make me, like, ball up my face and be like, whoo, did you hear what the fuck he just... I've never heard him say anything like that. And so, to me, Jay is just... And we've had this conversation before, and Money, who has him on his top 10, couldn't come up with anything. Like, to me, if because we talk
about these conversations,
and because you couldn't, and so like, but that's to me, that's the microcosm of Jay-Z. It's that he's the package of production and and like aura and longevity. But Jay has never been like a dude that, again, if I'm walking down the block and I see a dude's in the cypher, Jay ain't the dude that I'm gonna pick out this group.
Ah, that's tough.
Great rap artist.
Right, he's a great artist. Man. He's a great artist, but Jay has never, like, Money, I asked you that before. Name me 2 bars that Jay spit that made you say, God damn.
I mean, I can't. I'm sure if you didn't ask me that, I could just rattle.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could do. You asked me that about Big, about Jadakiss. Like, it's one line, and I can be like, damn. Like, I wouldn't have to think about it.
I mean, that step to me, I'm awkward. I box lefty, and often my pops left me, and often my mama wasn't home.
Like that's word. Like that ain't nothing that like I would ever say like, damn, how you even think about that shit? Like to hear Eminem say, I met a retarded kid named Greg with a wooden leg, broke it off, hit him over the head with like that shit is like, how the fuck you even think about that?
That's fair.
That's my guy.
Right. Or to hear Jadakiss say, I see you work out, chest and your back all nice, but this 12 gauge will put your 6-pack on ice. Like that kind of shit. When I say, God damn, how you even... I've never heard Jay say anything like that. Like where I just like
Man,
I'm
I
bewildered.
can't agree with that.
I
Like,
can't.
Jay's
I'm not
had
gonna.
some
I'm not gonna
fire
agree with that
tracks,
either. I
dude.
just can't
Yeah,
think of.
I ain't saying Jay's whack. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
That's
what
what
I'm
it sound like.
No, I'm not. Like to me, like when you say somebody is to me it's possible to be great and overrated at the
Not
same
perfect.
time. Right.
Right.
And we say this all the time about LeBron or Kobe. Like they can be great, but they are flawed. And so this is the one thing I get back from Jay-Z, like fans, is it's because he's Jay-Z. And there's like, but when you ask specific questions like I just asked, crickets.
Right. I think where Jay-Z excels is his flow. And I think his flow, and I think it's his flow that makes up for where he's not elite lyrically.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that to me is why I still value him as really dope.
Let me interject. So here, because what I'm really hearing, at least I think I'm hearing Al say, and I know I'm hearing Jay say, this. It's just a difference. So you just said it. It's the flow. If you were I think the reason why I struggle to think of these zingers or these one-liners is because do I think Jadakiss is a punch bar rapper? Absolutely. Do I think Eminem is a punch bar rapper? Jay-Z is not a punch bar rapper. I can't. So it's harder for me to just gravitate to like one bar. And I was like, ooh, shit. But I can do that 5 times like right now off of Kiss shit because Kiss he's a puncher. You know, so his punchlines was crazy. Like that's one of his flow was crazy because it was a punchline flow. Jay has more of a smooth, stylistic flow that it's tougher to just come up with like a zinger. But if you take the punchline impact out of it, he has bar after bar after bar of nothing but classic shit.
Well, yeah. So
Like
basically, you're
Jay
proving
was a
my
boxer,
point.
But if Jay was a boxer, Jay is like late Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
Where you can't just hit him, but he don't necessarily have all the sting in his punches anymore. You're not knocking cats flat like Pretty Boy was. Money Mayweather was different to Pretty Boy Floyd.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jay would but you can't hit him.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. To my point, like you asked me what I value, it's lyricism and the fact that like Jay-Z doesn't have many quotables.
Come on, dude. He has a quotable after quote.
But you can't name any. That's what I'm saying.
The guy can't be lyrical without being a punchline guy?
I'm not saying necessarily punchline guys. I'm saying Jay-Z's not the best storyteller. The reason I have Jay-Z still in my top 10, I have him over Jadakiss, is because all the other shit that he does well outweighs the fact that he's not elite lyrically. Now, that's what I'm saying. Jay-Z's not whack, but when you ask me what I value, it's lyrics. There are other dudes that will bar Jay to death if you just going off lyrics. But it's everything.
I'm not saying that. Of course, I agree with that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's what are you arguing with? Is you ask me what I value? It's lyrics.
But being able to bar somebody to death, I don't equate that like that to me. That if you are a puncher and that's your style of rapping, you're gonna be able to bar somebody like Jay to death because that's not his style.
Right. It's exactly what I'm saying. All the other shit that he does well outweighs just the barring shit, which is why I have him ahead of Jadakiss. I have him ahead of I have him ahead of Nas.
Kiss will bar Jay to the
money. If you finish with objecting with JR, can I get your answer to
Money's answer is the opposite of mine.
The crazy part is I 100% agree with Jason.
Longevity. That's what you don't.
Longevity. I can see longevity in a bottle, where it just doesn't weigh the same to me because I actually do agree that Bo Jackson is one of the best running backs I've ever seen in my life. But I didn't get 15 years out of him. So I can definitely see, like, that's the reason why I think I have Big number 3 on my list. That's why, and Big gave us, 2 albums? So But I can still see the greatness, and I mean, I don't give this grade out a lot, but like the dude has flawless verses. You know, he's written some of the greatest verses I've ever heard in this rap game, and you know, so he definitely still stands out to me. So I'm gonna say the longevity thing. I just didn't put as much weight into it, you know.
Okay. West Coast. What don't you value that other people value too much?
Man.
You said men?
No, I said man. Like it's tough to say that.
Gotcha.
Like I tried to weigh everything as equally as I could. You know what I mean? Try and give everybody like Madden ratings. In your battle skills, you get a 72 battle, you got a 94 charisma, you got a, you know. So I don't know that I didn't value any of them. I don't know that any of it was missing. Like I tried to see it all, then I don't know.
But is there anything you heard us value that in terms of how we were defending our number ones that she was like, well, I didn't give a damn about that.
Based on the last few minutes of this conversation, it sounds like lyricism was valued differently than I think I looked at it. So, like the punchlines, yeah. I mean, the punchlines are the punchlines. They are what they are. But I feel like if we was all scoring the same boxing match, we would all have different scorecards.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
Is.
Like it would be like one of us would be looking at ring generalship. Mm-hmm. Somebody else would go, what the hell is ring generalship? Like, why are we, what? I just wanted to know if he was still in front of the dude. So I feel like based solely on the last few minutes, lyricism was probably valued. I can't even say higher. I just got to say differently than I was looking at it.
I mean, I definitely think that's a good analogy, boxing judges, because how we're rating, you know, is totally subjective in terms of how we value and take things into consideration, along with our exposure to different people. So that's a real good analogy. Regular Scott, what's your answer?
After what West Coast just said, I think I agree with him, and kind of like I think we all kind of grade lyricism differently, and just off the conversation we just had, like some of the points you and Jay were bringing up about Tupac and Jay-Z and how like punchline wise and lyricism wise they're not on par with like some of these other guys, and that's fair, but I guess maybe I valued the whole package more so than I did individually the lyrics, like individual lyrics, I guess I could say, but I don't want to say that lyricism wasn't important, because to me, I think Eminem is one of the best lyricists ever. Mm-hmm. So it's, I think what West Coast said is again, to just agree with what you just said, is a perfect analogy, because I think we looked at it differently, because I think Pac's got a great flow, like even like with what he's saying.
All right. So, again, for the sake of time, we are going to just jump straight into trivia, and we will skip the NFL this week. But, so, this week is trivia. Y'all ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, in honor of the real greatest of all time, each category from this week's trivia will be titled from a Biggie song. So, there are 5 categories. 5 points to each category like normal. The first category, I got a story to tell. Talking about iconic black novelists. Second category, what's beef? Intense sports rivalries. Third category is things done changed. Talking about MCs who were once athletes. Next category is Mo Money, Mo Problems. Talking about NFL players who got paid and then sucked. And last category is Who Shot You? People who shot famous people. All right.
Wow, very, very, very creative, Jay.
List. Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yes. So, we will go. Who won last week? Al?
Okay, I'll take it.
I know it wasn't Scott. But anyway.
Hey, shots fired. Shots fired.
That's fine.
Let's go with let's go with what's beef for 30.
All right. So we will go Al, Jay, Money, Scott. What's beef for 30? Talking about intense sports rivalries. This fierce tennis rivalry of the 1980s spawned a 2017 movie by the name of its competitors. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Is this with
1.
Billie Jean King?
That is incorrect. Name of the movie and the name of the tennis players were Bjorn versus McEnroe. Borg versus McEnroe. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. West Coast Jay, where we going?
I like that category. That was interesting. Let's go. What's beef for 20?
What's beef for 2? These two AFC North rivals have formed a deep hatred but mutual respect with mirroring smash mouth styles.
Ravens and Steelers.
Ravens and Steelers is correct. 2 points for Jay. All right. Money.
I like that. Let me go. What's beef for 10?
What's beef for 10? These two teams have combined to win 33 NBA championships.
The Lakers and Celtics?
Lakers and Celtics is correct. All right. I tried to give a little bit easier ones on the 1s and 2s, so hope y'all appreciate that.
I do appreciate
Scott,
that.
regular Scott, that's for you.
Regular Scott.
I appreciate that.
Regular Scott, where we going, sir?
Well, I appreciate your concern, West Coast, but I'm gonna go with 40 in the same category.
What's beef for? All right.
Okay, 1832.
Well, we talked about boxing, right? I did say 1s and 2s. So we did talk about boxing. So considering this man had no rivals, he was that great. Name the 5 fighters that beat Muhammad Ali.
Ooh.
Yep, regular Scott, you did this to yourself. 10.
9, 8, 7.
Joe Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. This
7.
is unbelievable.
This was your choice.
Yeah, you're
5.
right. Yeah, you're right.
Count down that.
No. I got a question. Repeat the question. That's all I got. That's all.
Fake news techniques.
Right. Name the other 4 dudes you don't know. All right. You did get one. There's Joe Frazier. The other 4 were Ken Norton, Leon Spinks, Larry Holmes, and Trevor Burbick.
Oh, really?
Trevor Burbick beat Muhammad?
Trevor
George
Burbick.
Foreman didn't beat him?
No, George
No,
Foreman.
he did not.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trevor
wow.
Burbick beat Muhammad Ali in his last fight.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
George Foreman lost with the rope-a-dope.
Right.
I would have got that one wrong too. To be regular, don't feel bad.
Yeah. All right. Al, where we going?
Let's go with let's close it out. What's beef for 5?
All right. What's beef for 5? Aiden, you might have got lucky right here. I don't know. This original 6 rivalry is considered the oldest feud in the NHL, dating back to 1917. They are still rivals. Who are these 2 teams? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Bruins and the
5.
Rangers.
That is incorrect. It is the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I almost went there.
Had to go Canadian on them.
Fuck.
Yeah, when you talk about hockey, you always go Canadian.
Yeah, you're right. I messed up there.
All right. So what's beef is out.
Close. Jay. I'm fucking with this.
All
Right, what were the other categories, Jay?
right. Other categories are
Who shot you?
Knew about that.
Yep. I got a story to tell. Iconic black novelist. Things done changed. MCs who were once athletes. More money, more problems. NFL players who got paid, then sucked. And who shot you? Famous people. People who shot famous people.
People who shot famous people. That's hilarious. Let me say, I got a story to tell. Let's go 3.
All right. I got a story to
33.
tell for 3. Author of Go Tell It on the Mountain, he is one of the 20th century's greatest writers, exploring racial and social issues in his many works.
I know that one.
10.
James Baldwin.
James Baldwin is correct.
Good shit. Good shit.
3 more points for Jay. All right, Money, where we going?
Let me go. Who shot you for 30?
All right. Who shot you for 3? All right. This one, I will give you the person that they shot. You give me the person's name who did the shooting. This man shot and killed Martin Luther King.
Oh man.
10, 9, 8,
What's
7,
his name?
6,
Oh,
5,
Ray.
4.
James Earl Ray.
That is correct, sir.
Nice.
Nice save.
Nice.
It was in the background. Let me
3
think of
for
his
Money.
name.
Right.
It
Ray.
It wasn't
Ray
Pookie.
Jenkins.
No.
I kept saying Ray.
It might have been Ray. Oh, that's right. James Earl Ray. I got it.
All right. Scott, where we going?
MCs who were once athletes for 10.
For 10. Good job, regular.
Thanks
Way
to
to
change. There you go.
So proud of it, baby.
My tone done changed all up after that 4 question.
All right.
Time adjustments we call those.
That's that coaching in me. You gotta take the 2 points.
Things done changed. MCs who were once athletes. 4-1. Before dominating 2000s hip hop, he was actually a 2-sport athlete, excelling in both baseball and football. However, he was so good at baseball that he played in the St. Louis Amateur Baseball Association, winning MVP of the league's All-Star game, and was on the radar of a couple of MLB teams as a prospect.
Yep,
Who was it?
You did that to yourself, Scott.
What? You said St. Louis? Is that what you said? St. Louis?
Yes. Mm-hmm. 10, 9,
The only St. Louis rapper I
8,
know is Nelly.
7, 6.
Nelly.
Nelly is correct. 1 point for Scott. And
On the board, baby.
for the chance to get double points, name me 2 Nelly albums.
Nellyville and The
5,
Suit.
4, 3.
What was his double album called? Like The Suit and the something?
It wasn't a suit and a something. I know that much.
I think so.
That part's true.
Yes. So 1 point for Scott.
I got it. All I got is Nellyville.
The easy
Country
one would have been
Grammar?
country grammar, sir.
Yeah, country grammar.
All right. All right. Well, Scott does have a point though. So
God does
that's newsworthy.
Scott on the board.
Thank you.
Listeners, this is a
Oh,
monumental occasion. You
Hey,
don't
look,
understand
this is
what
exactly
just
what
happened.
happened last time I was on trivia. I don't know what they're talking about. That rumor Al started, I'm proving is wrong, you know?
Well,
Shout out to
Just
Poop.
go ahead and give him the game since he scored.
right. Well, speaking of dudes who have
Whatever.
no
We just
points.
put Rudy in the game. It's cool.
Oh man. Speaking of dudes who have no points, Al, where we going with this?
Ooh, let's go with Who Shot Ya. What's left on Who Shot Ya?
Who shot you? Got 1, 2, 4, and 5.
1, 2, 4, 5. Let me try. Let me try 4.
Who shot you for 4? This man shot Ronald Reagan.
Oh shit! Who the fuck shot him?
10, 9.
I know who wanted to shoot him.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Damn.
2,
You don't know this one?
1.
I don't.
It's the Hinckley dude.
John Hinckley Jr.
Hinckley.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't remember his first name.
John Hinckley.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I knew that. I did know that.
All right. How's West Coast J? Where we going?
Let's go back to I got a story to tell.
All right. I got a story to tell. Iconic black novelist. What point level?
Let's do the 4.
I got a story to tell for 4. His works are historical. They include Native Son, Black Boy, and Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Ooh, I know that one.
I know that one too. Make that up there.
Richard Wright.
That's
Richard Wright is correct. 4 more points for West Coast J.
All right, West Coast. Nice. All right, this my history antenna's up, so let me go back to Who Shot You.
All right. Who shot you? What point level? You have the 1, the 2, and the 5 available.
Let me go 2, Jay.
2. This man shot and killed Abraham Lincoln. 10, 9.
John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth is correct. All right.
Double
2 points for money.
points if I tell you the year.
No, you can tell me 2 of his albums. I'll give you 2 points.
I Hate Niggers.
That was a double album.
Right.
and I want that nigger lover dead.
That was a live recorded album.
That was the greatest hits. Regular Scott, where we
Gerald.
Let me go MCs who were or rappers who were athletes for 2.
All right. Things done changed for 2. Money, you're going to love this one. I was hoping you get it. This member of the Migos was a stellar quarterback.
Yeah, I heard that last week too.
All right. This member of the Migos was a stellar quarterback for Berkmar High School. He chose rap and never looked back. 10, 9.
Well, after listening to the show last
7,
week, I know their names are Takeoff, Quavo, and
5,
Offset. So,
3.
I'll go with. I know
1.
Quavo's the basketball player. Let me go with Offset.
That is incorrect. Correct answer is Quavo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's a sport guy.
Yeah, or Riff Raff, whichever one you want.
I didn't know you would accept Riff Raff. I didn't know you would accept that.
Oh no, we're always taking Riff Raff.
Yeah. Yeah. Back up, bird poop. Oh yeah, anything you want to say. Yeah, it's 2 syllables is all we need. Rear view. Shakedown.
No, don't confuse me. Because all that shit will be flying in my head next time somebody asks that question. I'll be like, shakedown? Hey, what's crazy is I almost said bebop and rock steady. Like, that was the first thing.
The bad guys from Ninja Turtles.
Oh, shit.
I know, but that was... Hey, they names might as well be bad guys.
That's funny.
Just beats Duke University, and they storm the floor.
All right. So, rock steady and bebop.
Damn, we missed all them jokes, huh?
Yeah.
Joke.
Last joke I heard was bebop and rock steady. All right, regular Scott, where we going, sir?
I know there was what are the categories again?
Just get this shit wrong.
No, I didn't ask one yet.
Oh, you skipped me then. Who just got the question wrong? Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was Scott. Damn, you were saying so much
Scott.
about Migos. Yeah, my bad. So it's on
yeah.
Al. Yeah,
Right.
it's on Al.
Let's go. Who shot you again?
All right.
I don't know. Damn
You
well.
got the.
No, I'm after Al. I mean, I'm after West Coast J.
Now you after me.
Yeah, you
No.
no.
Yeah, for me.
Regular Scott.
I'm after
Yeah,
Jay.
no. Yeah, Scott got
Yeah, you got John Will's boo.
right. Scott just got Migos wrong, and now it's Al's. Now it's on
Oh
Al.
yeah. It's on Al. It's on Al.
All right. All right, Al, you got who shot you? You got the 1 and the 5.
Tempting to try to get on the board, but I'm gonna go 5 because I'm hard headed. Let's go 5.
Man.
All right.
I'm trying to win.
Yeah, let's try this. He shot and killed Gianni Versace.
The
8.
7.
Hold on, wait.
6.
You did say
5.
Versace, right? Like the
4.
artist, the fashion dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, not the
I'm
Not the
gonna
Migos
go
song.
with Fidel Castro.
Oh, damn! Almost.
Just missed it. That was right behind Julius Caesar.
Man.
His name was actually Andrew Cunanan.
That's what they said his name was. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Said it was Kim Jong Un.
But really, who it was?
Oh man. West Coast, where we going?
Man, I'm good with this stories telling right now. What's left? 1, 2, and 5, right?
1, 2, and 5. Yeah.
Well, let's get the 5 off the board and see what happens.
All right, I got a story to tell for 5. This author of The Color Purple, so I'm sorry, she's the author of The Color Purple.
Alice Walker.
Alice Walker. That's right. Let's go. Jay is running away with this thing. 5 more points. All right. Money on you.
Let me close out the Who Shot You.
All right. Who shot you for 1? He shot and killed John Lennon.
John Lennon.
Of the Beatles, John Lennon.
Riff Raff.
Other
He was
members,
so
right?
confused.
Other members of the Beatles include Riff Raff.
Yeah, 'cause I
Back
thought
down.
when he said John, I was
Take
already
over.
shouting out Lee Harvey Oswald because I thought he was about to say John F. Kennedy.
That was too easy. That would have been a 0 point.
I don't know who shot that. Who shot John Lennon. Bagger Vance. I don't know.
Bagger
Vance.
Almost. Damn it, Will Smith. No. John David Chapman shot John
Oh,
Lennon.
yeah, I've heard that name before.
That was a 1.
All right.
Yeah, that was a 1, Jay.
Remember, he made these easier for regular Scott.
I thought that shit wasn't easy to me.
It wasn't easy to nobody except regular Scott,
I thought
apparently.
he was asking John F. Kennedy. I was like, oh yeah.
Nah.
What's
Lee
funny?
Harvey, bitches.
What's funny is I was searching through like just names to put in these slots for famous people who got shot, and every rapper that got pulled up, nobody knew who the fuck shot him.
Yep. All unsolved.
Right.
Wow.
That should have
So-
been one of your questions, and the answer would be unknown.
Right. Like he's a rapper unknown. Nobody knows who shot him.
Unknown.
That's a very regular
shot
Scott.
Tupac?
That's a very regular
Dude.
Scott ass question.
Right.
Hey, look! Don't be surprised if you get one of those on the ballot. What's the answer? Unknown.
Right.
We would accept unknown. Don't nobody give a fuck. Ain't nobody ever look. We'd accept any of those answers.
Exactly. Scott, where we going?
What we got left besides story to tell?
All right, so it's no story to tell. So things done changed. You have the 3, the 4, and the 5. More money, more problems. You have them all. And who shot you? You have none.
Shot is closed.
Yep.
Let's go. More money, more problems for 3.
More money, more problems for 3. We're talking about NFL players who got paid and then sucked. This quarterback led the Steelers to Super Bowl 30 before throwing 2 disastrous interceptions and losing to the Cowboys. That shit didn't matter, though. He signed a 5-year, $25 million deal that very same offseason.
Wow.
10.
9.
Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart is incorrect. That would be Neil O'Donnell.
That's
Went to the Jets.
Yep.
Right. And if you can give me the name of the team that signed him, you get 20 points. I mean, you get double points.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Al, back on you.
What's left in that category? Thing that changed.
Things done changed. Things done changed. You have 3, 4, and 5.
No, more money.
Oh, more money. More money, more problems. You have 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Let me try 2. Shit.
All right.
I'm just trying to get on the board. I don't want you to regular Scott me tonight. I'm trying to.
Regular Scott became a verb.
And all off a rumor. There's no truth to what he said.
Allegedly. Okay, all right. Allegedly. Scott became a verb.
Oh, man. All right, more money, more problems for 2. Thanks to an MVP performance in Super Bowl 30, he was offered a 5-year, $12.5 million contract despite never being a starter for the Dallas Cowboys.
Of course, he got a Cowboys question.
Yeah, but shit.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stay away from that shit.
You said he started for the Cowboys.
Oh, no, that's not
Cowboys.
Well, if you made the connection, it's funny how y'all asked them back to back. Neil O'Donnell actually threw those 2 interceptions to this guy. His name was Larry Brown.
Oh,
I remember Larry Brown.
Signed by the Raiders right after getting 2 interceptions thrown directly in his lap.
All of a sudden, Larry Brown was good.
Right.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I thought you meant he signed with the Cowboys but was never a starter for the Cowboys. But I get you. Yeah.
I thought you meant that too, actually.
I didn't know what you meant.
I'm like, who do we start? Who do we sign but never started? But I got you.
Oh, man. All right. West Coast, where we going?
I'm back to the storytelling. Let's go number 2.
All right. I got a story to tell for 2. She recently passed away on August 5th, 2019, and is most known for her novels The Bluest Eye and Beloved.
Toni Morrison.
Toni Morrison is
God,
correct.
dang.
Reading is fundamental, money.
I'm aware of that. I didn't say that.
That was me, West Coast.
That's regular.
Well,
Scotty
reading
don't
is
read-
fundamental,
don't read
regular.
over
I like to read too, but I like to read comics.
regular.
Gotcha,
Like
gotcha,
some
gotcha.
comics.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, money, where we going?
You got me scared now, but let me go with the more money, more problems for 10.
More money, more problems for 1. He signed a 4-year, $21 million deal after filling in admirably for Dan Marino at the end of the 1993 season. He saw his stock rise dramatically heading into free agency in 1994 before leaving and signing with this team. Who is he, and who did he sign with for double points?
Fuck.
10, 9,
That's the one?
7, 6, 5, 4,
Man.
3.
What the fuck
2,
was Dan Marino's back?
one.
Vinny Testaverde?
Incorrect. He is
Scott Mitchell.
Scott Mitchell. He's widely known as the biggest free agent bust in history of the NFL. Scott Mitchell signed with the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. I remember him, yeah.
right.
Man,
Scott.
that was too far back in time to be the one.
Here you go.
What's the time frame?
Hey, that
That'll
should
be
be
in the
at least
last
some
2
recent-
years.
That gotta be some recent.
Right.
Let me go. More money, more problems for 5.
I'm just salty.
More money, more problems for 5.
Never gonna get this.
In
One of the
1963,
one of the best running backs in Green Bay Packers history. He left when he signed a 4-year, $23 million deal at the age of 29. He only recorded 554 rushing yards over the next 2 seasons with his new team. Who is he?
Ahmad Green.
Ahman Green is correct.
Come on.
Yes, Scott. For Scott. And
Come on, man.
double points if you can tell me who signed him.
Oh, I don't have a clue. Let me go with the Falcons.
Wasn't it
Falcons
the
is
Raiders?
incorrect. It was the Houston Texans.
Okay. That was a little more. See, that was a little more recent. That
the
could,
funny part is I was thinking the Oilers. I thought it was that far back.
Wow. There was
Nah, I
no
remember
free agency
Ahman
back
Green.
then.
Can I be honest? He's the only Packers running back I can think of. If I'm gonna be completely honest.
hey, well,
He's one of their best.
yeah, he's one of the best to ever do it for him.
Got you on the board, Rudy. You good?
Oh
right,
He
man,
was already on the board. He beating somebody.
He beat the
Beating
shit out of
me.
Al. All right.
I'm feeling like
Al, you
He
might
tied-
make it last.
Yeah, so score recap. Al, he's playing. West Coast.
You said Al and Putod.
Al and Pooh tied. Al tied with Pooh, Simba, and DJ Blaze. West Coast J has
A lot.
16.
God.
Money has 6, and Scott has 6.
I'm coming for silver.
No shit.
what's left?
So got a story to tell. You have the 1. Things done changed. You have the 3, the 4, and the 5. More money, more problems. You have the 4. And that's it.
All right, let me do. I got a story to tell. I've been beaten to submission. I got a story to tell for 1.
Got a story to tell for 1. How about this? This husband and wife team are the authors of Tourist in Your Own Town.
Oh, that's dope. That would be, yeah, that's what's up. Perfect way to get on the board. That would be Alvin and Gina Glymph.
That is correct. Our
I'll
very
take
own
it.
Alvin
Nice.
Glymph and his wife Gina are the authors of the novel Tourist in Your Own Town.
I have left Scotland.
I still have no idea what you're talking about. Still have no clue.
Scotland is real cold.
Scott,
You
yeah.
out
That
of
is
the
cold.
house now.
Oh, man.
I feel so much better.
Scotland. That's perfect.
Oh, man. Oh, Jay, where we going, man?
He ain't coming to Scotland, I can tell you that. Not with 16 points.
Oh, that's funny, man. What's no, I don't want that one. Things done changed. What you got there?
You have the 3, the 4, and the 5.
Me at a 3.
Things done changed for 3. This West Coast MC was all set to attend Washington State University on a basketball scholarship before having it taken away due to a drug charge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
New
5,
idea. So throw
4,
out a random West Coast
3,
dude. Keep the sneak.
2. Kick the Sneak is incorrect. The Game. Yes.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine. Y'all could continue to talk to me like I was supposed to know that.
Yeah, I had no clue. So,
Look, I was just gonna start throwing out names y'all ain't never heard before.
Jay, what's left?
You have 4 and 5, and things done changed, and you have the 4 in More Money, More Problems.
Let me go 4. More money, more problems. I gotta beat regular, degular.
All right, and Pooh not showing up threw off the numbers, so we'll have 1 left for. I'll put a number on it. You said 4 for things done changed. He played college football at Robert Morris University and Virginia State. After problems with coaches at both schools, he gave it up to pursue music. 10, 9.
Quavo.
Oh, close. Wale.
Nice.
Wale. Yeah.
How was Quavo close to Wale? Just out of curiosity, I just want to know how that was.
Oh, that was like the tip top scale of sarcasm, sir.
Okay, fair enough. I was like, what ballpark are we playing in exactly?
Yeah, that was like the just because money threw out Quavo, it's close to anything.
Fair enough.
All right. Scott, where are we going?
Let's go More Money, More Problems for 4.
More Money, More Problems for 4. You may know this. After a 94-cat season with the Buffalo Bills, he signed a 7-year, $37.5 million contract. He will be released just 2 years later by his new team. Who is this dude? And who did he sign with for double points? 10.
What year again?
I did not give you a year.
He ain't say year.
I thought okay.
I'm not giving years because all of these are pretty recent. Free agency didn't start until 1993. So
true that. Let's go Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie, a 94 cat season. You're going with Doug Flutie, but that is incorrect.
He's Scottish.
Let him go with Doug Flutie. Yeah, let him go with Doug Flutie, bro.
Yeah, I am letting him go with Doug Flutie. That would be Peerless Price. Signed with the Atlanta Falcons.
Signed with the Falcons.
Yeah.
Doug Flutie, Peerless Price, they're like the same guy.
Right.
They're like the same guy.
Quavo, Wale,
right.
Doug Flutie, Peerless Price,
shit. Right.
Offset, Bebop.
Yeah.
Rocksteady. You know.
I mean, I think you're nitpicking on the answers a little bit. You could have gave me that one.
Backboard.
If I squint really hard, it sounds like Peerless Price.
Yeah.
Oh
all...
man. All right. Let's see what we got left here. So all of those are gone. We only got 1 left, and it's the 5, and
left.
things done changed. So.
All right, could be a 3-way tie,
Al. And it is for possible double points.
Oh, you could almost win.
Okay. Give it to me. What you got?
All right, Al. This ascending Texas MC was a legit NFL prospect as a linebacker at Texas State in 2009 before breaking his foot. Who is this MC? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Arian Foster.
That's incorrect.
Mike Jones. No, I'm sorry, I just wanted to say it.
Toby Nwigwe.
The hell? I thought he said his name was a Shinkashay.
Toby from the SWAT. You never heard of Toby?
Nah.
Wow.
That's a negative.
Nah, I never heard of him.
I implore the 4 of you to go listen to Toby Nwigwe.
Does he write? Does he do a lot of videos with his wife or lady?
Yes,
or...
that is Toby.
Yeah. I've seen some of his stuff. He's all right.
Yeah,
He's
Toby's
all right.
dope. Toby's earliest stuff, he got a lot of comparisons to Andre 3000. But Toby's dope. But yeah, he was I think his junior. I remember scouting Toby, but I think his junior year he had over 100 tackles. Came back his senior year and had like 50 tackles after like 4 games and broke his foot and was never the same again. Man.
Yeah.
So
Too bad.
right. Well, Al, you did get on the board though. So I ain't mad at you.
Got out of Scotland.
And and then in the words of a Tupac song, I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
Right. So West Coast, you won, man. What you got for me tonight? What's your parting shot?
Man, I just want to say, as was evidenced by my trivia win, reading is in fact fundamental.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to. I know that's why I did it then. I'm looking forward to Thursday night so this league can get underway.
Yo,
I'm ready for
who
some
you play?
football.
Who you play? Who you play? Regular? I mean, who you play?
Oh, in the Defy Life League?
Yeah.
Some dude named Charlotte Money.
True that.
Some cat named Charlotte Money has to deal with the West Coast Ballaholics. So there's that. You know, can't wait to play the regular team. You should just name it Team from Scotland.
we're just regular guys, man. We're just trying to put on a regular team and a regular league. We're just regular guys.
You got a lot of regular guys on your team too.
Yeah, he does.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, that's okay. That's okay. I got the best receiving core out of anybody in the league.
Got the best regular dudes out of anybody.
Damn.
I got V's first round, so I should be good. Or first game, so I should be good.
Wow.
The immortal words of regular Scott are shots fired.
Shots fired.
There it is.
Directly at you. But other than that, no. Like I said, I'm looking forward to NFL. That should be awesome. So, that's about all I got.
All right. Cool. Money. You came in second, man. What you got for me?
Hey man, shout out to the Defy Life team. As announced at the beginning of the show, man, we got a lot going on. I'm not gonna run back through it, but definitely big ups to the squad, everybody involved. Listen as we do it for y'all. Check us out. Big ups to the North Carolina Tar Heels for upsetting the South Carolina Gamecocks. Big win. And also really excited for this upcoming week as we kick off the NFL. So a lot of big things happening. Y'all already know what I'm gonna say, man. Shout out to you, Pooh, also. And if you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about?
No doubt. Well, regular Scott, what you got for me, sir?
Well, first, I just wanted to say I appreciate you letting me come on. I'm glad I could put these rumors that Al started to bed. I'm glad that the listeners can now see that they were just rumors. You never heard the lost tape, so they're just rumors. I'm glad we can put that to bed. Also, shout out to Al for the list. Like, that was a great idea, and this
awesome.
was a real good conversation. I was surprised to hear Will Smith got a vote, but that's a whole other thing.
That was me, bro.
Wow.
That's a whole other thing.
That was me.
Part 2.
Yeah, man, that'll definitely come up on part 2 if I'm here. I'm definitely wondering who voted and why Will Smith's on the list, but that's another thing. Check out Take a Knee on Sundays. We got some big things coming our way as well. Episode 50 will be here in about a month, so we're looking forward to getting there. It's a big milestone for us.
Wow, it is.
Yeah, so we're real excited. Hopefully Oz will make it to 50 with us. He might not make it there, but we'll talk about that later. But again, appreciate you letting me come on, guys. It's always a blast to be on the flagship and Defy Life.
No doubt. This may be the first time this ever happened, but Al, you finished last, man.
Damn.
What you got for me, man?
Nothing, man. It was a good show. Really enjoyed it. Appreciate hearing the insight. And again, hip hop is something I love, and to hear other people's love for her and to see how people can love it differently is something that I'm enjoying doing as I'm getting older, because I haven't always been that dude. So is good to hear these different opinions and to see the vantage points and what people love about hip hop. So that was just a good conversation for me. I really do enjoy that. But everything else, just everybody have a good week. Shout out to all those who are dealing with the hurricane, and just on behalf of my brothers. Hopefully, Pooh done solved the problem and is bringing relief and resources to the folks who need it. But in all seriousness, it's I was looking at some of the images from Bahamas, and it looks really it's really fucked up. So hopefully, we won't see as much damage as it comes to the coast of the United States. And we can, assist that area in rebuilding, because, it's going to take a lot of resources to get those islands back on their feet. But, they are some of the more resilient people, my island people. And so shout out to all them. But on that, I really enjoyed it again, and just have a great week, fellas.
No doubt. Absolutely. It pains me to say this. But I am officially a Panthers fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened?
So shout out to my son's little league football team, the South Fork Panthers. Man, when I tell you.
Sour shake.
Yo.
Wow.
Yo, seriously though, I mean, they do have Panthers uniforms, Panthers logo, but they are dope. I ain't never seen a defense rock like that. For one, shout out to their coaches, man. I've never seen a 10-year-old team work that hard and being taught that much. Like, really, really, impressed with their coaches. But check this out: through 2 games, their defense has given up a total of negative 84 yards of offense.
That's impressive.
That's beyond impressive. I don't
That
even
is
know the word
crazy.
for that.
Yes.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. I ain't never seen a 10-year-old defense like that, but they are legit. So they're 2-0 now. They won last week 7-0. So hard, it's crazy. I've never seen people go that nuts over little league football. There's dudes out there betting. One dude bet a stack on the game. It's crazy.
Jay, it gets serious out there. You used to read other reports about all the fights and shit.
Yeah,
people be out there going hard for their 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds.
Right. Yeah. So apparently, the team that they played last week, we had to go to their stadium for that reason, or their field for that reason, because nobody wants them at their field anymore. Because for one, nobody ever beats them, so that's why the kids were so excited they beat them last week. But nobody ever beats them, and then their parents are always showing up, fighting folks, smoking weed in the crowd. It's all kind of shit. So shout out to the South Fork Panthers, man. And, again, the coaches are really good, and the kids are having fun. But, I'm impressed, and Lincoln's learning a lot. So, and they first year playing tackle. And what do, Al? They stick him at right guard. My position in high school. So so as long as he don't find no game film on me in high school, I can keep telling him, you got big shoes to fill, son. So
that's right.
Hey, when I see him, I'll keep the myth alive.
Right. And ironically, my high school offensive line coach called me last night. I ain't spoke to him in 10 years, and called me last night, and I told him the same thing. He was like, "Nah, you did pretty good, man." He's like, "I'm gonna have to find some of your old tape so you can show it to him." So, thanks for upholding that myth, Coach Hawthorne. But Money, I'm officially a Panthers fan, man. So we on board. Unfortunately, that fandom does not go outside of the Winston-Salem city limits. So
you ain't had to do that, man, like that.
Yeah, Money, I know he was thinking I was gonna. You was thinking I was on y'all's bandwagon for a second.
Playing with his emotions.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I was like, wow.
Smokey.
I was like, did they fire Mike Tomlin or something?
Right.
Wow, what happened?
Money was fine.
You ain't gotta do them like that.
Man. I didn't get nothing flashing up on my ESPN or nothing. Like,
Yeah,
what happened?
I was about to go in. Something had to happen. But yeah, man. So if I gotta be a Panthers fan, I'll take it that way.
True that.
But yeah, man, very dope show. Again, Al, thank you for the list, man. That was dope. We're looking forward to it, and you did not let us down, sir.
Thanks,
yeah. So we'll
thank y'all. Thank y'all.
So we'll definitely be talking some NFL next week, and we'll have round 2 of this hip hop conversation because we got some. We got a story to tell. We got some stuff to talk about, man. And maybe Pooh will join us next week, and he can talk about Tupac, of course. But until then. Defy Life.
You dealing with body bag books and hurricanes
and right. Yeah.
You never know, man. You never know.
Check your text, and I think his wife might have found his body bag book. So,
golly, man.
Now she was vacuuming by the bookshelf.
That's the problem. You can't be vacuuming by the bookshelf.
Like she was dusting. She was dusting.
She was dusting.
That's how she found that. She was dusting.
Man. This show you cannot find body bag books while you dusting.
Man, gotta be vacuuming.
You gotta be vacuuming.
Gotta be vacuuming.
That's for men, though. That's for men.
True that.
That's for men.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Oh, man. Well, Pooh, I hope you survived the hurricane, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we'll talk to you next week. Until then, Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life, yo.
Defy Life.
Yo, the summertime is winding down, so it's time to go ahead and get that fall wardrobe together. Check out the new fall line from Defy Life Gear. It's got all new designs, jackets, socks, and you gotta check out the brand new alternate logo. We also got sweatshirts for all the podcast gear you love so much. So go ahead and visit www.defylifegear.com. That's www.defylifegear.com to get your gear today. And remember, Defy Life, lifestyle defiant. It's defylifegear.com.